Gentaro's condition on October 27th. Zookeeper quote: I was very nervous, but I trusted that the months of training I've been doing with Gentaro for the transport would pay off. So it was time to administer Gentaro's anesthesia. Successfully, Gentaro leaned his shoulders against the barrier as usual to allow the injection. The anesthesia went smoothly, and after blood sampling and other procedures, we were able to place Gentaro in his transport cage as scheduled. For safety's sake, we waited until he had slightly recovered from the anesthesia before loading him onto the truck and setting off. After the anesthesia was administered, he fell asleep in front of the staff without any alertness or nervousness. When I checked on Gentaro on the way, I confirmed that he has fully recovered from the anesthesia. There were no further issues after that, and the camera footage during the drive showed that he was very calm. I also checked on Gentaro several times along the way to check on him in person. And at night, Gentaro arrived safely at Ueno Zoo. Even while he was being transported to Ueno Zoo, he kept opening his mouth and begging for food from the staff standing near his transport cage. Gentaro ate some of the rice that was left on the rice straw that had been laid out inside his cage and seemed content in places. He smoothly entered the room and began eating the food that had been prepared for him. Gentaro hadn't eaten or drunk anything since the evening before in preparation for anesthesia. It's not good to give him a lot of food while he's being transported, so he only drank a small amount of water, and I'm sure his stomach was rumbling. Of course, he was nervous being in an unfamiliar place, but by the next morning he had ate all of the food that had been prepared for him. His stomach, which was flat upon arrival due to the fasting required for anesthesia, had started to get bigger by the evening 2 days later. Gorillas eat a lot of fibrous foods, so their stomachs are large due to the gas produced by the food being digested and intestinal bacteria that digest it. When gorillas fast, the accumulated food and gas are released, and their stomachs become surprisingly flat in no time. It takes some time for them to fully return to their original size. It may also take some time for Gentaro to fully return to his original large belly. However, he has been eating well since soon after his arrival, so I don't think there is anything to worry about. He continued to seem to become more and more relaxed after that. I was able to confirm that he was sleeping properly at night and that he was eating well. He even agreed to training the day after his arrival. He occasionally heard the voices of other gorillas in the same building. However, he didn't seem to react in any particular way and remained calm. Even in the few days after his move, I observed many of Gentaro's typical behaviors, and I felt that he would be able to live at his own pace in Ueno. The blanket that was in his transport cage was also brought into his room, and he made good use of it. He was able to observe people walking in the backyard and cars through the open window. This is just Gentaro as usual. I've always thought that Gentaro has a high ability to adapt to people and things, but this time he demonstrated that even more than I expected. I was able to hand him over to the appropriate people at the Ueno Zoo, and based on Gentaro's condition, I was able to return home relieved. As with all pieces, not just gorillas, quarantine is first carried out after transport. There is a period to check for any disease or parasite, and during this time, they will not be open to the public. Please await announcement from the Ueno Zoo regarding Gentaro's public viewing. 8.5 years have seemed long, but it has also flown by. I had a lot of fun spending time with Gentaro, and I learned a lot. I look forward to Gentaro's future, hoping that he will continue to live happily in his own way. That's all from the zookeeper who was in charge of Gentaro at the Kyoto City Zoo. From now on, it will depend on whether the zookeepers at Ueno Zoo will report on Gentaro. Hi, I'm G.L. Ryan. Your comments are very welcome. Hi, I'm G.L. Ryan. Thank you for watching to the end. Subscribe to my channel, please. Thank you.